It's right here, Khenpo. I'll be right here.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning to everyone online as well. Welcome to Kunzang Peo Choling, the home of Jesma Akum Lamo, our spiritual director, and the new home of Khenpo Karze, who Jesma has invited to help teach us. And this morning, he's going to be offering a meditation. The meditation has to do with the four immeasurables, which are love, compassion, joy, and equanimity. So he will be giving a profound teaching and instruction on that. And then there will be a meditation following that, along with a period of time where we can ask questions if we have some. And then at the end of that, there will be a very short meditation on Chenrezig, the Buddha of compassion, that we'll have passed out for everybody to do at the very end. And then, if you'd like to stay a little bit longer, you could stay for some tea. I think is being prepared for us, some chai tea. So I think that's all for now. So thank you, Khenpo.
Good morning and
Good morning.
Happy Sunday. Meditate on the four immeasurable. Before we start actual meditation, then before that I would like to a short instruction, particularly today's meditate on compassion. So last Sunday, we meditated on loving kindness. And today, we are going to meditate on compassion. So before that, we have to focus on all sentient beings, particularly this when we meditate on compassion, then focusing on immeasurable accumulations. So immeasurable accumulation are those of merit and wisdom. So of course all are four immeasurable thoughts. Also, all of those virtues which we are accumulation, merit, and wisdoms, but especially when we are doing because I meditate on four immeasurable thoughts, it's a more we can accumulate it and also more powerful. So that's the reason when we are meditate on compassion, then focus on accumulation of merits, which is sometimes we can say virtues or wisdom. So in this sense, the cause, the sense they are the cause or essence of generating boundless gathering of both merit and wisdom. Uh, so also in a sutra, they already mentioned it actually. If we meditate or if we experience and meditate on love and kindness and compassion, then it's easy to accumulate those merit. So that's the reason. So if so much merit can be gained simply of offering a gift to one who is training in immeasurable love, kindness, and uh, compassion or joyful and equanimity. So what needs is there to mention actual practicing those immeasurable and meditating on them for oneself. The amount of merit generated thereby will be far, far greater. This is how immeasurable stores of merit and wisdom are produced. So those then serve to generate a boundless collection of qualities, which in turn yield limitless wisdom. So compassion, we are focusing on sentient beings who are suffering. For those, so we have generate compassion, wish to dispel the suffering of all beings who are pledged by those suffering. So generally, all the sentient beings are suffering in suffering of suffering, suffering of change, suffering of conditioning, conditioning, which is we call Yuji Tanjin Daba, in Tibetan. So we have to focus on that. What is the suffering of suffering, and what is the suffering of change, and what is the suffering of conditioning? So after how to say knowing those suffering, then we can meditate or learn or generate those bodhicitta in genuine. Yeah, of course, sometimes we are meditating just, like a blank, nothing to thinking anything, just seated and then like that. Of course, that is also a part of meditation. But once we apply and experience those sufferings, then after that we can meditate on compassion or love kindness, then it's more powerful, I think. So that is the way the suffering of suffering, which is included all the miseries of the lower realms, which is hell realms, hungry ghost realms, and animal beings, we can say that, as well as the suffering of birth, suffering of old age, suffering of sickness, suffering of death. Those are the actually general suffering, all the beings, not only the human beings, all the realms which are, throughout whole life, we are suffering, kind of like that. So, and also separation from what we hold dear, and having to encounter what is undesirable and not achieving what we want, even after pursuing it. All those type of suffering, big or small, it doesn't matter, are undesirable from the very first moment they appear, and are therefore understand to be painful. So, what is the meaning of suffering? Of suffering, which is actually it is that which is painful when arising, and painful when remaining, and uh, painful at the end. So throughout, um, painful, we can say. So those are the, we concern the suffering of suffering, which is all beings are facing. So that is the suffering of suffering. Then a suffering of change. The suffering of change means that no matter where we find ourselves, whether in this world system or any other, even if we are in the high realms, no matter how seemingly pleasurable and attractive our dwelling place and a physical body or sensory enjoyment, our situations cannot possibly remain as it. But is bound to change because of not being beyond the laws of impermanence. When it does change, what is previously a pleasurable experience become a source of suffering. So it is just like the sorrow caused by the death of a child. It is because we were so happy when the child was alive that their death is so painful. So in the sutra, they says the suffering of change is that which is pleasant when arising and pleasant when remaining, but painful when ceasing. So that is the suffering of change. So we also how say having that kind of suffering through all the our life, when from birth to till death. Not only the human being, all beings are suffering of like that. So that is the suffering of change. So suffering of the third one is conditioning, which is the suffering of change, suffering of being conditioned. Conditioned refers to all experience that is bound up with ordinary physical aggregate, or in Sanskrit we can say five skandal. No matter whether we are experiencing temporary pleasure or suffering, or even a neutral state, we are always setting ourselves up for future suffering. Why? Because our present skandal are direct connection with the causes for our future scandal. So which will be the support for suffering in the future. That means all our present experience are some way the causes for suffering that will come to us later on. So that is the suffering of conditioned, which is in Sutra said that suffering of being conditioned is not apparent when it arises, remains, or ceases, but it is still the causes of suffering. So that's why these three are the suffering is generally for all sentient beings are facing through the whole life. So this is why we hear in the statements like Khenpo Karze Dewa which means on the middle point of samsara there is never any happiness. So this is the one way we are. So if we think in that way, then we can say we can remove or we can free from samsara or free from suffering. So this is the main three sufferings, and also general suffering, which is like 8 kind of sufferings, like suffering of birth, suffering of old age, suffering of sickness, suffering of death. Yeah. And then separation from the closest, and meeting like a bad people, and searching for desire but not finding it, and then suffering of the 5 aggregates. Those are the actually 8 general suffering. Then individual, of course, those hell beings are suffering by cold and hot, and then those hungry ghosts are suffering by hungry and thirsty. Yeah. Then those animals suffering by slaughters, and human being suffering by birth and old age and death and sickness, and lamain, lamain, lamain is godless, being godless. La is God, and yeah, we can say sometimes jealous, but in the translated it is godless. They're suffering by fighting with God, struggle, and then La, God suffering by like chipotung, means I think death and transgression is chipotung. So those individual and general, so many kind of suffering, we have to think about that. Then from that we can generate our compassion to all those sentient beings. So focus on that. Then we have to think, all sentient beings, are free from those suffering and free from the samsara, without thinking those general or individual suffering. Then I think our bodhicitta or generating bodhicitta mind is just a name, not genuine bodhicitta mind. So that's why before the Karze, we are going to actual practice meditation. We have to think all those different kind of suffering, which are, all sentient beings are, suffer. So, we want to remove or free from those sentient beings, from the suffering. So then you can meditate on bodhicitta, or compassion. So here we are meditating on compassion. Yeah. So now we can keep those suffering in our mind. Okay. Then you can think about those sufferings, hell beings, hungry ghosts, different sufferings. They are, we are suffering. And from those suffering, then we need to come out with doing actual practicing of meditation or wisdom, whatever we are doing. So when we compassion meditation, at this case, so we have to think, focus on all sentient beings, wish to, eliminate all the harmful actions of being whose conduct is unvirtuous, as they are the root or causes of suffering. So just mention it. So compassion is karuna in Pali, karuna or compassion. So this is wishing oneself and others to not suffer for ourselves, or we don't want any suffering or pain or problems, unwanted, difficult experience. The same as true for everyone else. See if we can feel how nice it would be, how wonderful it would be if everyone could be free of the problems, suffering that they wish to be free of. And as before, bring to mind people closest one you can bring in your mind. So you focus on that person struggling in different kind of suffering. So then you wish that person free from those suffering. Once you habit on that kind of mind, then you can spread to your family, then to your neighbors. Through that, we can learn. You can focus all sentient beings, different, they are suffering different kind of sufferings. So all those suffering, think in your mind, free from those suffering. So through that you can cultivate your bodhicitta mind, like a sky. So now we can remain in this state 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Bởi vì ta em này khi cơ chiến hải khi cơ hiện ai là khi thường hiện với hết dễ của lẽ thật rằng what? No. You have to have you. Want to make boom. My baby is cái một kêu hay kêu cha bao nhiêu em đi nhà mai và em đi bộ tiếp con đều No. Hey, Papa. It comes for you. Bye bye. No, là
So you can take break. Yeah, in this way, then we can cultivate bodhicitta or compassion. So love, kindness, like we have to focus, of course, all sentient beings, but form is a little bit different than the compassion. The love, kindness, we are focusing on happiness and wishing to have happiness, those all sentient beings. When compassion, then we have to focus on suffering, the wishing to free from the suffering or eliminating those suffering. So this is a little bit different forms. Yeah, focusing, of course, all sentient beings are saying all the four immeasurable thoughts are focusing is the same, but form is different. So when talking about compassion, then we have to think about suffering. Okay, then through that you can get something encouragement by yourself. Like I'm in responsibility to remove all this suffering for all the beings, not only by yourself and not only by your closest one. So for all sentient beings suffering, I can remove. So you have to encourage by yourself. Is it? Encourage?
Motivate.
Huh?
Motivate yourself.
Motivate by yourself. Yeah. So then I think we can remove those negative emotions. Through that we get the sufferings, all the sufferings. Yeah. So then when we doing the compassion medicine or compassion Buddha, also related and this thought actually, when we are doing practice of Chenrezig, Avalokiteshvara, then we have to think, all the sentient beings are suffering, different kind of sufferings. So then you can visualize as yourself as Avalokiteshvara, or you can visualize Avalokiteshvara in front of you. So through that, then you can recite his mantras. Through that, you can visualize all the sufferings are removing. When we are praying, then Avalokiteshvara, yes. Yeah. So this is how we are doing, compassion meditation. So when you have time in your home, then you can do much longer than this. If you can, do meditate on compassion, like 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. It depends on your capacity. Yeah. So this is how we are doing meditate on compassion. Yeah. So if you have any questions, then you can.
Khenpo, so can you compare what you just have us meditate on in terms of compassion and Tonglen, the practice of Tonglen,
Oh,
which is also about compassion?
yeah.
So if you can see what's the difference between today's practice and Tonglen?
Tonglen, compassion. Right now, we are doing just thinking about other sentient beings are suffering. So when Tonglen, then we have to exchange. You have to take those suffering, okay, and your happiness give back to them. Exchanging, yeah. Tonglen. Tong is giving, len is taking, receiving. So that's called Tonglen. Yeah. Give and take or receiving. Yeah. Dajin Jiva. Dajin Jiva. It's a say in the Bodhisattvas, the Ayachatara. Yeah. In that says there's a two way we are practicing compassion. One is Dajin Nyamba, which means equanimity, all sentient beings. In this way, I mean, of course, we have some are very, how to say, rich, some are poor. In that way, of course, we have different, But all sentient beings are want to happiness, not want to suffering. In that way, all sentient beings are same. So Dajin Nyamba, equanimity. Then other one is exchanging. Dajin Jiva means exchanging. Then comes Tonglen practice. How do we exchanging? Yeah.
Thank you, Khenpo. So when there's time to meditate, when there's 10, 15 minutes or whatever to meditate, I understand that it's used to bring ourselves to balance as well. But I get overwhelmed by the amount of suffering that there is in the world, and it's stopped at a traffic light, or it's in a meeting, or in a conversation with friends where people are getting upset. And I, of course, have compassion for them, but I get overwhelmed. And so what's the way to, I can't meditate in that moment, I can't meditate when I'm on a meeting. So how do we address overwhelm in those moments?
Of course, maybe last Sunday, they say the ordinary people, when we are facing those difficulty things, it's difficult to apply compassion or meditate or whatever. Yeah, but at least we can try in a 1 minute or in a moment. If we think about compassion, just a moment, okay? But that moment also lots of benefit. So if we can't, continuously thinking like 10 minutes or 30 minutes but it's okay. Try to think like a moment, also very benefit. Okay? So not only, of course, if you are doing meditation, of course, even just a moment thinking about compassion or apply like a generating bodhicitta, one moment also very benefit. So we can try to develop one moment to two moment like this. I think this is we can try this way to try to build up. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, of course, we are just ordinary people, when we are facing those difficulty things, it's difficult to think about Dharma. Yeah, but at least we can try, just a moment also benefit. So through that, then we can learn more and more, day by day. Then I think we can, once we get addict or habit, then I think it's not that much difficult. Yeah, of course, from the starting, of course, everything is difficult, Yeah. Okay. Then we can, if you have no questions, yeah, then we can do Chenrezig prayer. I think we can start from the 7 lines prayer, maybe one time, okay? Then, yeah, this prayer,
Okay.
yeah,
So 7 lines for one time.
yeah, one time, okay.
So this is on that card first.
Card backside.
Mhm.
You can do English or Tibetan as you wish.
Would you check those two in Tibetan? I think it'll be okay.
Yeah.
How cute is that? Okay, starting with the card. And into the practice. And you can take that card with you if you like. We'll do this in English. Your 1,000 arms are 1,000 universal monarchs. Your 1,000 eyes, 1,000 Buddhas of this fortunate age. You who teach each and every one of us according to our needs. Lord Avalokiteshvara, to you I pay homage. And the mantra is Om Mani Padme Hum Re.
Om Mani Padme Hum Re, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum Re. Om Mani Padme Hum Re, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum Omani Benore, 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 Omani Omani Benore, 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 Omani
By By this virtue may I swiftly accomplish the state of Chenrezig, and may all sentient beings without exception be placed in that very state. By this effort may all sentient beings be free of suffering. May their minds be filled with the nectar of virtue. In this way may all causes resulting in suffering be extinguished, and holy the light of compassion shine throughout all rooms.
Thank you.
Thank you, Khenpo. And thank you, everybody, for coming today. You may not know, if this is your first time here, that this prayer room is open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. every day, 7 days a week. And as are the grounds, you can visit anytime from dawn to dusk. And we have a 65-acre peace park across the street. You should enjoy visiting as well, going on the trails. And all the information about the programs that we have here are online at tara.org. So check that out. There's lots going on. And today we're offering everyone, if you'd like to have some tea. We're having some chai tea. So stick around. You can ask questions. And a lot of the people here have been here a long time. So if you want to ask more questions, just be here. And thank you, Khenpo, so much.
Awesome. Thank you.
Stay for tea. Stay for tea. And I think we have a birthday in the house. Tara and Tara do a breathing meditation on Saturdays at 10 o'clock.
Oh, no, it's at 11 now.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I need to look at the website. And it's at 11, and so you're welcome to come to that and learn how to do that one too. That's based on Jessica's teachings from her book, Stabilizing the Mind.
And we also do Tonglen and light expansion prayer.
There you go. Okay. So yeah, and it's Tara's birthday.
Happy birthday. Chekala, Trashidili. In Tibetan, we say Chekala, Chekarla, Trashidili. Cheka is birthday. Trashidili is just happy birthday, kind of like that. Yeah, Chekala, Trashidili.